Mr. President, on an entirely different matter, the American people have a lot on their minds these days. Among their greatest concerns is the threat of ISIL, the brutal terror group that recently beheaded 2 American journalists. ISIL is growing stronger by the day, and it's lethal. Every day we wait to confront them is a day they grow more deadly. I and others have called on the President to provide us with a comprehensive plan to defeat this menace. Last night, he described to the nation what our military, intelligence, and diplomatic corps are doing to confront this threat, and outlined ways he'll expand on existing operations. Over the next week, following a series of briefings, Congress will work with the administration to ensure that our forces have the resources they need to carry out these missions. Specifically, the President set forth a near-term concept of operations to enhance the defense of Baghdad and Kurdistan, a mid-term plan for retaking Anbar province and Mosul from ISIL, and a long-term plan to contain ISIL within Syria. The defense of Baghdad will require an air campaign to strike ISIL and target them within Iraq and extending into Syria. The midterm plan requires a new train and equip program at an increased scale to return the Iraqi security forces to the fight at a higher degree of combat readiness. The President also envisions an effort to regain the trust and cooperation of the Sunni tribes through a new territorial or national guard, the same tribes and friends we abandoned when we completely withdrew from Iraq. And the President's long-term plan, which is now clear, will be a responsibility left to the next administration, will be an effort to field a viable indigenous ground combat component to defeat ISIL within Syria. Today, the President's staff will begin briefing the Senate on what will be required of our armed forces and intelligence community to effectuate this indefinite campaign, which we now know will include a multi-year air war of attrition. My expectation is that the administration will explain how best to build a moderate Syrian opposition capable of defeating ISIL. I'm hoping that the Congress will consider what this new multi-year campaign will mean for the overall defense program, the need to modernize our military to retain dominance of the air and sea in the Asia-Pacific theater, to revitalize NATO in the face of Russian aggression, and how to field additional force structure and combat power into the U.S. Pacific Command now that Europe and Central Commands require additional tactical units and capabilities. Our nation must also rebuild the nuclear triad. That said, I'm glad the President has brought a new focus to the effort against ISIL. He needs to take this responsibility head on. This Congress, the next Congress, and the next administration have serious work ahead as we consider this multi-year commitment and what it will take to defeat ISIL.